Hello, my name is Katrina Vaillancourt, and it's truly been an honor to co-create this book, Her Coronation, with this group of amazing women. It's been my experience that when we share our stories of healing, love, transformation, and resurrection, we amplify grace in the world. And this is certainly my hope with my own story, Miracles of Love, on page 91. This is a longer version of a story I wrote for another book, Ignite Love, back in 2020, which I've been told has brought many people to tears and inspired them to try new ways to generate breakthroughs in love. It's such a blessing to be able to use my life's challenges and triumphs to inspire others, and so I jumped on this opportunity to go deeper. In this session, I'm going to share with you a bit about me and why I'm passionate about empowering love in all forms, but most especially in romantic relationships. I'll introduce you to a handful of powerful tools and practices that work universally, ones that I use to empower my clients to generate more love in their lives. If you enjoy what I have to offer, I'll let you know how you can get more. So first, a bit about me. I'm a certified nonviolent communication trainer, skilled mediator, and relationship coach with almost 3 decades in spiritual and transformational studies. I created an award-winning communication game called the Love Smart Cards. It's designed to support players to learn the basic foundations of nonviolent communication easily, naturally, and conveniently from home. And more recently, I published a complete Love Smart Card guidebook that introduces the nonviolent communication basics and includes over 60 card practices for solo, partner, and group engagement. It also has tips for working with kids, and all the games that I've mentioned in my story, Miracles of Love, are included in this guidebook. I work with all kinds of people, but my sweet spot is with growth-oriented, spiritually minded women who long to be in a healthy, secure, thriving partnership, but feel stuck in frustrating, recurring relationship patterns. I help them uncover and address what's keeping love out of reach, or hard to keep, so that they can, as the great poet Rumi suggests, remove the barriers to love they've built inside themselves and establish a solid foundation for a thriving life partnership. And I love my work. I'm also very happily married to an amazing man. We've been together for 9 years now, and we adore each other. But my early years were not set up well to create this successful outcome. My parents divorced when I was 8. Statistically, that meant my first marriage had a 75% chance of ending in divorce, which I was completely oblivious to. I thought love conquered all, and I knew I really loved my first husband, John. Wasn't that enough? As it turns out, it's not. Love is not just a feeling, it's a commitment, and more importantly, a set of skills. We divorced less than 3 years after we married, when our son was only a year old. In the beginning, I was sure it was his fault, but over time, I became increasingly aware of my own quote-unquote issues and realized that if I did not seek to address them all, I would, in all likelihood, unconsciously sabotage my next soulmate connection as well. So I dedicated the next 20 years to figuring it out. Now, I don't want to give away too much of what's in my story, but you can likely tell from the title, my work, and my happy marriage. It all worked out wonderfully. So well, in fact, I could pinch myself. And I've learned so much in the process that it's absolutely my joy to share all of these insights, gems, principles, and practices with you. So let's get to it. What I'm going to share with you today are 11 pages of what I call my Love Smart primary tools. It's a small sampling or introduction to the principles of nonviolent communication, along with practices that can make a world of difference. All you need to do is download this PDF set and practice what's on them. While I could easily spend an hour or more on these simple 11 pages. I'm going to go through them fairly quickly and trust that there's enough on them that they are intuitive for you to pick up and use. So this first one is, what's alive in me? How can I make life more wonderful? This is what it says at the top. These are 2 questions Dr. Marshall Rosenberg suggests we ask every day. On the left-hand side, we see in the clouded area a number of behaviors that can really undermine a sense of connection. And on the right-hand side, we see behaviors that can nourish connection. This is just to bring in awareness. This is not about right or wrong. We really seek to avoid going into those places, very much inspired by that Rumi idea that beyond the ideas of right doing and wrong doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. So we like to talk about the field of the heart, and the heart as being the guide in so many things. At the heart of this particular image is another quote from Dr. Marshall Rosenberg. It says, at the heart of every behavior is the desire to meet a precious need. Now, when he says need here, this is a universal need. So everything you do, everything anyone you've ever dated has done, everything your parents, your teachers, your friends, your enemies, everything anyone has done is driven by the desire to meet a precious need. And this turns out to be a master key for mastering relationship. So there's a lot here on this sheet, but that's the gems that I'm going to share with you for now. The next one is communication choices. In the teachings of nonviolent communication, Marshall used the symbols of jackal and giraffe to represent that kind of closed-hearted, reactive part of our human ways of expressing, in contrast with the open-hearted ways of expressing. The giraffe having the largest heart of any land mammal. It's also so tall it can see the big picture rather than only seeing what's right in front of its face. So it gives that sense of not only seeing my own challenges, but also seeing the network of life that I live in, the challenges other people are facing, and taking that into consideration as I move forward. So you can see all kinds of, again, choices that could be made on the left-hand side that tend to result in undermining a sense of connection. On the right-hand side, there are other choices that you can replace it with that really nourish a sense of connection, compassion, partnership, co-creativity, and a win-win. So this is just a valuable reminder to post somewhere, maybe on your fridge. Just have this in front of you so that you can keep this in heart as you're working towards optimizing your relationships. This next page is managing our differences through connected timeouts. I don't know about you, but I have had times when something happens and I am emotionally triggered. Fortunately, it's become less and less over the years thanks to this practice of connected timeouts. It's wonderful, of course, when we're in ease and flow, everything's just going smoothly. But as you've probably experienced, there are times when something happens and it's like, oh, I feel off. And you may not even notice that moment. Sometimes it's just from 0 to 100 really quickly. This is an exercise that is golden. If you take this on, it will do so much to reduce conflict and increase love and harmony. It's a basic practice of yellow light and red light as symbols for let's slow down or let's take a break. I think that the instructions are pretty thorough on this one, so I'm going to leave it to you to read this one and practice. The next one here is the challenging situation worksheet, and this is referenced in the connected timeouts. This is what to do when you take that break, and it is time to try to figure out how to get your nervous system back into chill mode and to gain clarity so that you are prepared to go back into the conversation with greater compassion, greater awareness, greater ability to see the big picture. and more of a sense of what you might be able to ask for or offer that would be in support of having a win-win. So this is color coded. The colors go with the 4 sets of cards that are in the Love Smart card deck. So this is color coded. You can use it with the cards. However, if you don't have cards, you can use the words lists. I've found that working with cards helps you to integrate these skills much quicker. However, words lists will work as well. And so those words lists are included here in this set. They're the next 4 pages. So we have the universal human needs and values. If you remember on page 1 in the center of the heart, it said that these are the qualities that drive every single action. So if you were to write in your journal 100 different things that you've done over the course of your life, or, add another 3 things that you're like, oh, I wish I hadn't done this. Every single one of them, you could take time and look at this needs list and go, okay, which of these needs were driving me? Both to do something I love and to do something I'm embarrassed I ever did. It can actually be really healing to look back on a time that you're embarrassed or ashamed about, something you wish you had done different, and to look at what precious needs you were trying to meet. It's a way of soothing that hurt part and bringing more compassion to it. So little advanced tip, trick I'll throw in the mix there. Now, when our needs are well met, we have pleasant feelings. So that's the next page, page 6. And when they're unmet, we have unpleasant feelings, which is on page 7. This also means that our emotions are indicators of whether our needs are met or unmet, which ends up being very important for insight and clarity as it relates to creating win-wins. Again, the idea of a win-win is you look at what are my needs that are unmet and what are your needs that are unmet, and what can we do that's going to attend to both of our needs. So emotions help bring greater awareness as to when our needs are met or unmet. And then the final list here on page 8 are the character strength cards. And so these are qualities that can help you through challenges. Anytime you're going through a challenge, you can look to this list and identify which of these character strengths do you believe will support you to work through this challenge in a way that feels aligned with your values. Page 9 here is the 7 adjustments. This is a great reminder when you're in relationship, those red words on the left, resistance, make wrong, judgment, guilt, blame, shame, criticism. These are the habits that most commonly undermine relationships. And so the cures, so to speak, the habits you can replace them with are on the right: willingness, curiosity, compassion, acceptance, understanding, reassurance, and appreciation. And at the bottom of this are 7 questions you can use to help cultivate those qualities that are on the right-hand side of the sheet. This 10th page is making empowered requests. Now, again, this one has a lot on the sheet, so I don't want to read it all out loud, but what I can say in short is that this will support you in the 7th step on the challenging situation worksheet, which is also the 4th step in what is called the nonviolent communication 4-step process. So this will help you to do that final step of co-creating win-wins. Now, this is really just a basic introduction. There's a lot more to learn when you get stuck here and you're not finding your win-win solution, but this is a great place to start. One piece of gold that I want to offer you is actually not on this worksheet, but it is, rather than an action request or an offer request, it's something called a connection request. And that connection request, and I will invite you to write this one down, is to ask, would you be willing to let me know what you heard me say so I know if I've communicated clearly? This can be a very important step. If for whatever reason you haven't communicated clearly, then we want to really clarify things before moving to this request step in the process. I can say with confidence that if you really study these sheets and practice what's on them, they will transform your life. And of course, getting coaching work is very helpful. Taking classes, reading books, like go deep with it. This stuff is magic. And as I've shared with you in my short story, Miracles of Love, it's really the greatest thing I've come across in my life, which is why I'm so passionate about sharing it. So I wish I had an easy way to just give you a link and you could just download these PDFs. And I don't have that set up right now. But what you can do is you can send me an email at connect@lovesmartcards.com. And in the subject line, just say, please send me those PDFs. I'll make sure to get them to you right away. And when I do, I'll also offer you another gift. That is a one-on-one session with me. This will be an opportunity for you to share what's on your heart, where you've been blocked from experiencing the love that you know is possible. And in that session, we're going to create breakthroughs. So if you're interested in taking your love to the next level, if you're interested in up-leveling all your relationships, if you're interested in thriving, really living from your heart, living from your values, living from your passion, your compassion, all that you are, I invite you to reach out. I'm so happy to share this with you, and I look forward to meeting you. You can learn more about me at lovesmartcards.com. And in the meanwhile, I wish you a beautiful summit and a beautiful life in general. So I'm here, and I'll look forward to connecting. Blessed be. So I wish I had an easy way to just give you a link and you could just download these PDFs. And I don't have that set up right now. But what you can do is you can send me an email at connect@lovesmartcards.com. And in the subject line, just say, please send me those PDFs. I'll make sure to get them to you right away. And when I do, I'll also offer you another gift. That is a one-on-one session with me. This will be an opportunity for you to share what's on your heart, where you've been blocked from experiencing the love that you know is possible. And in that session, we're going to create breakthroughs. So if you're interested in taking your love to the next level, if you're interested in up-leveling all your relationships, if you're interested in thriving, really living from your heart, living from your values, living from your passion, your compassion, all that you are, I invite you to reach out. I'm so happy to share this with you, and I look forward to meeting you. You can learn more about me at lovesmartcards.com. And in the meanwhile, I wish you a beautiful summit and a beautiful life in general. So I'm here, and I'll look forward to connecting. Blessed be.